Now that Six Flags has a firm grip on the future of Cedar Point, here are 10 questions about the future of America's rock and roller coaster. What is going on, everybody? It is Theme Park Brandon, and I'm really glad you're here. And number 10 is, would the park ever open up a DC-themed ride or roller coaster? Now, I know this might rub some people the wrong way, and I totally get it. I really don't want to see a DC-themed ride pop up at Cedar Point of all places. But will it happen? I mean, I think yes. I mean, in the big picture, money talks. These licensing rides and IPs that the parks have, they have them for reasons. They sell a lot of merchandise. They get people talking about the ride. And let's be honest, I mean, if done right, there's a lot of cool rides out there that Six Flags has done in the past that are themed to really cool things, that IP related. So if it's done right, I'd be okay with it. I really don't want it to happen, but I think going forward, it's going to happen. Number 9 is, will Cedar Point ever build a dark ride again? Now, if you don't know, I'm going to show my age here. One of my first visits to Cedar Point, I rode the Pirate Ride, which is where the old Chicky and Pete's restaurant was, right on the other side of Raptor, in between Blue Streak and Raptor. I would love for Cedar Point to get a dark ride. I definitely think it is needed for the park, but just a matter of when and when and does Six Flags want to spend the money on a dark ride for Cedar Point? Maybe so. I mean, there was rumored a while back for a ride coming that was going to be a dark ride, but I would be okay with it. I think it'll be definitely add a unique dimension to an already stellar world-class lineup of rides and thrills. Number 8, will we ever see another wooden coaster come to the park? You know, this rumor has been around a long time. GCI, Cedar Point, makes a ton of sense. I get it. I would love to see it happen. There's multiple areas where one could very well fit. Obviously, Snake River Falls plot of land and using part of Millennium Island. Something like a larger version of Mystic Timbers would just be legit awesome. I would love to see it. I just don't know if the return on investment, the daily maintenance on a wooden coaster, if it really makes sense financially for Six Flags. Unfortunately, there has not been many new wooden coasters pop up here in America over the last 5-6 years. I hope it changes, but I don't think it's going to. So with that being said, hopefully by 2035, 2040, Cedar Point opens up a new wooden coaster. Number 7 is Millennium Island's cut-through expansion. Will it happen? Another rumor. I think it will. It just makes a ton of sense. Nowadays, people are more, I guess, the generations are lazier, in my opinion at least. So it's not offensive to anyone at all, because I want to cut through. I want to be able to walk from Gemini Midway over to Millennium Force really quickly if I could, without walking all the way around. So for the convenience factor, yes, and Millennium Island's rather large. There's a lot of cool things that the park could do here. I always said in videos, it'd be really cool to open up a new family thrill area, have a couple flat rides from Zamperla be located right on the island, and have a great cut through. Will it happen? I think so. I really, really do. Number 6 is the Kiddie Kingdom future. There's like 8 or 9 kiddie rides here. None of them are very popular. I would save maybe 1 or 2 of them and move it over to the Millennium Island area. Therefore, as you see right here, Kiddie Kingdom would get renovated for a boardwalk expansion. And again, there's a lot of things Cedar Point could do with this area. The Kiddie Kingdom is so outdated. We already have Planet Snoopy and Camp Snoopy. There's no need for 3 kid areas, especially with how hard staffing is to find for all parks, but obviously Cedar Point in this case, because it's in the bustling metropolis of Sandusky, Ohio. So it's not like you're having a large local pool of employees coming here to work. So if it was me, I would remove Kiddie Kingdom, replace it with 1, maybe 2 new rides that have a lot less staff, or at least if it does have as much staff, at least make the ride be something that is going to bring people into the park, obviously to pay for those employees that you're going to be using for it. Now, with that being said, how about the new wooden coaster, if Cedar Point would ever get one, be located right here as the boardwalk expansion? I've always loved this idea, as my big time fans have known that in past. I think that's just the smartest move for Cedar Point. Nothing screams a boardwalk like carnival rides, carnival games, food, than the giant wooden coaster. You already have Wild Mouse, which is great. It's time. Give us that awesome boardwalk feel of a wooden coaster right there. That would be really cool. I think that definitely should happen. Will it? Who knows? Now, if you love Wicked Twister like me, check out my Wicked Twister merch on themeparkbrandon.com. Also, behind me is my poster collection. I have a ton of other posters on there as well, and I have a bunch of other shirts. First and foremost, guys, I want to say thank you so much for every purchase, everyone wearing my shirts. If you don't know this, but I'm doing something new now, that I switched merch providers. If you buy a piece of merch, I send a personalized video, it's like a minute long, to you or whoever you're buying it for. So I really like doing that because it's a great personal connection I have with you guys. And for the next 7 days, you guys have a chance to save 20% off anything on my merch store. You can find the information in the pinned comment of this video. Now let's get back into this video. Number 5, will we ever see a new water ride at Cedar Point? I almost said Carowinds because that kind of ties in here. And the answer is I think we will, but I don't think it's what you think it's going to be. I don't see them going log flume. I don't see them going water coaster. I think it's going to be a max splash battle like the one that just opened up at Carowinds. These are fun. Guests like it. It's a fairly cheap to operate ride, I'd imagine. It doesn't do a whole lot. Doesn't take up a ton of space. These are fun. It's interactive with people on the midway and the riders, so that's always a good idea. Number 4 is a really good one. Now we're getting really juicy here. This is a hard one, guys. Number 4, what coaster gets removed first? Rougarou, Gemini, Magnum, or Corkscrew? I don't know about you, but I'm still upset with them removing Wicked Twister. Any Wicked Twister fan out there, let me know. So whatever ride the park decides to remove next, I mean, it's gonna make some people upset. I don't think it's Rougarou. I understand why I could see them moving Rougarou to another park potentially. Could it be Gemini? That's a major plot of land back there. There's a lot of cool things Cedar Point could do with that, which brings me to number 1 here in a minute. Magnum. I think Magnum is definitely safe. Corkscrew. I think Corkscrew, if I had to guess and predict, I think Corkscrew would be the next coaster to go. It just doesn't do anything. I mean, it was like the first ride ever to go upside down 3 different times. It's time. Cedar Point knows it. We know it. They just got to do it. And really, I pulled measurements, believe it or not, but the Ride to Happiness, if Cedar Point went with Mock Rides Extreme Spinner for their next coaster or the coaster after that, this ride would fit as far as the track length and the overall space that the Ride to Happiness uses over at Palapsaland. You can fit that ride in the Corkscrew plot of land. Believe it or not, I pulled the measurements. I was shocked. You wouldn't think it, but honestly, you can. Now, number 3, replace Magnum or retrack it. I think Magnum's safe. I think there's no other choice but to retrack it. This ride obviously uses 98% of it is outside the park as far as the footprint goes. It's a classic, the first full circuit coaster to go over 200 feet tall. I do not see it leaving Cedar Point's lineup anytime soon. What about Millennium Force? That opened up in 2000. And we already seen that Universal have to do this for The Incredible Hulk and The Revenge of the Mummy, and a few other parks do it. Nemesis over at Alton Towers. These old school or older coasters are going to have to go through a transitioning period of, did we replace them or do we just tear it down? Replace a track. I think that's what's going to happen with Magnum and Millennium. I think both are obviously safe for obvious reasons. Number 2, what type of coaster will Cedar Point add next and where? There's so many options, so many. What I would love is a Mock Extreme Spinner or a Vekoma flying coaster. With the success of Siren's Curse, if you've not been on it yet, go out and ride it. It's really great. I think that we're going to see a lot more Vekomas pop up at all the new Six Flags parks, including Cedar Point. So I'm leaning towards their next coaster being from Vekoma. What type? Well, I think a Vekoma flying coaster makes a whole world of sense. have it be located in the frontier town area of the park, where Snake River Falls is located, as well as the Sky Coaster, and use part of Millennium Island maybe, have the ride go over the lagoon. That would be cool. I think we could definitely see a flying coaster, next generation flying coaster from Vekoma, and that offers multiple launches come to the park. I think that's a solid fit. I would love it. The GP would really like it. That's a very marketable ride. Now, as far as when, I think Kings Island is going to get the green light for their next coaster project in 2027. I do not think it makes much sense for Cedar Point and Kings Island to both open up new coasters the same year. So I'm going to go 28 for Cedar Point for their next coaster, with an outside chance 2029. Just remember, guys, they just got Wild Mouse in 23, Top Thrill 2 24, Asterix 2025, and Siren's Curse 2025. It doesn't make any sense for them to build another coaster in 27, so therefore I think 28. Now, if you enjoyed this video, then all I ask you to do is please take 1 second to give the video a like. That is by far the best way that you can support the time it takes to create these videos, and I really do appreciate it. Number 1, will Cedar Point ever go 500 feet? You know, I was thinking about this for like 30 minutes today. I'm like, nah, with the financial situation, the merger, the Six Flags aspect, I don't see it. But then after like really analyzing and thinking about it, like, maybe? I think what it boils down to, honestly, is how successful Falcon's flight over at Six Flags Qiddiya City is going to be. If this thing's going to be drawing a lot of people out there and it's going to create a lot of buzz, then if Cedar Point could possibly break the record, or at least build America's first 500-foot tall coaster, I think anything's on the table, honestly. As far as where does Cedar Point fit that magnitude of a ride, Gemini. It's a huge plot of land. There's a lot of things that Cedar Point could do with that. As far as manufacturer goes, I mean, obviously Intamin is the one, and I do think Intamin and Cedar Point, bonus thought here, bonus question, I do think we will see an Intamin coaster pop up at Cedar Point in the next 10 years, especially now that the merger. We all need it. Intamin's fantastic, and their track record as of late really shows it and proves it. Now, if you're interested in learning about how each roller coaster at Cedar Point stacks up against one another in terms of its height, then the showcase video at the bottom of your screen is just for you. With that being said, what's your thoughts on this video? What type of questions do you have about the future? Please let me know and answer them as well as the comments. I love reading your comments. This is Theme Park Brandon. You know what to do. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. Remember to smile today, think positive, and of course, keep riding coasters.